With a collection of over 35,000 objects that range from 20 to over 3,000 years old and come from all across the globe, it's no surprise that many mysteries lie hidden among the objects. But for the past few years, archaeological conservator Olivia Haslam has been treating an amphora that seems to have more questions than answers.
When I first saw the amphora, it was actually in a microclimate environment. You only add a microclimate if something's wrong, so it was kind of a, oh no, what has gone wrong kind of situation.
A microclimate is a man-made enclosure built around an object to keep it safe from outside conditions and slow down damage.
That's an interesting environment to have a ceramic in. You don't generally microclimate those.
But what is an amphora?
An amphora is a two-handled jar often used by cultures, specifically of the Mediterranean region back in the ancient world. They were carrying cargo and transporting it from place to place in these jars. They survived under the water for thousands of years, and because of that resilience, many of them have been able to be brought to places where we can learn about them. We have 3 amphora, believe it or not. We have 2 in our new Mediterranean gallery and 1 that has just received some well-deserved conservation.
I kind of knew I'd have a bigger treatment on my hands than maybe necessarily people thought at the beginning. The main problem was that the terracotta is so porous that you get the water and the oxygen that you needed for corrosion to actually go through the terracotta.
Corrosion is the decay of metal due to interactions with air, water, chemicals, and sediment. This chemical reaction produces rust, weakening the metal. In our amphora, corrosion caused the handles to break apart, revealing something unexpected. There were iron dowels inside the amphora's body.
We ended up using x-rays to see exactly how deep the dowels were inside of the body and what they looked like. It helped me determine roughly how corroded they were without me having to physically dig them out of the ceramic body. I actually originally thought this was fully faked because most people do not put together an amphora from multiple pieces. The object is named Frankenhora because it is a Frankenstein amphora. It is about 3 to 4 separate amphora Frankensteined together.
This is a unique case where we get to learn not just about the object and how it was used historically, but how and why maybe people wanted to preserve it and the methods that they used to attempt to do so.
I'm happy to have finished it and I'm proud that it's done. What I've done is only part of the story.
What amphora tell us about history is that trade is not anything that is unique to us today. Economics have long relied on the transportation of goods, and believe it or not, today we still rely on the waters for just about 90% of the movement of our goods across the globe. And you can see the impact of this global exchange at ports around the world, including the Port of Virginia right here in Hampton Roads.
Though the Frankenhora still holds many mysteries, we've discovered that at some point in its 2,200-year history, it was once 3 separate amphoras.
Was it the same dig? Was it a couple different sites and it was just the same collection? That would be really interesting to know, just personally, but also for interpretation, to kind of get a sense of how much the amphora had traveled before it actually got reconstructed and eventually came to us.